Hey, I am Jess, and I'm obsessed with all things nutrition, science, and helping you navigate this information while maintaining a deep sense of peace and empowerment in your body. I'm a registered dietitian who started out with an eating disorder and then fell in love with learning about how God intricately designed our bodies to be resilient and so much more than superficially beautiful. I am now a mama who loves to be healthy, not because of how it makes me look, but because of how it has transformed the energy I can give to my family, my friends, and you. On this show, we hit on real talk around the latest nutrition science and body image resiliency, all while balancing it between grit and grace. Think of this as your weekly audio coffee to encourage your empowered eating journey. This is the Fuel Her Awesome podcast. Okay, my friend, I have to tell you a funny and embarrassing, but very true story. Once upon a time, very tired, young kiddo, Mama Jess, went into her coat closet. You know how there's that top shelf on top of like the rack where you hang your coats? There was a bowl of cereal. Who knows how long that bowl of cereal had been sitting in my coat closet. But somewhere in my very, very tired mom mind, I thought it was a good idea to put my cereal down in the coat closet. The entire coat closet reeked. It was so gross. I had to wash everything. And it was funny. The best part is I blamed my husband. It's so embarrassing looking back on it. I was like, babe, why did you put this bowl of cereal in the coat closet? And he just looked at me and was like, I did not do that. Man, it is crazy how tired we get when we are juggling all the things. And sometimes our brain just stops working. When I had my kiddos and I was still working full time, and now I had these extra layers of taking care of these precious, amazing bundles of joy that I love so very much, I realized I really needed to up my game when it came to how I take care of my body, because I was asking so much more of my body now. So today what I want to do for you guys is talk about how we can boost our brain health with nutrition. Nutrition is so cool in this sense. It's like lotion for your brain. And I want to talk about how you guys can do it in some very easy, simple tips. We're going to cover 3 main points today, but we're going to walk away so nobody's putting bowls of cereal in their coat closet. Who else is with me on this one? Now, our brains, sister, we know this. They are incredibly powerful, but they're also really metabolically active organs. Because they are so high functioning and active, they actually require a lot of nutrition to not just function properly, but well and active, and to not put bowls of cereal, like I said, in that coat closet or anywhere else but the kitchen sink. One of the things that can happen is that when we have imbalanced nutrition, it can actually lead to changes in our brain metabolism, which in turn can impact our mood, our thinking, and our memory. And I know in the role I'm in and what God has called me to do at this point in my life, I need all the tools I can get. So we're going to break down 3 ways to boost your brain power so you can have a more clear and focused mind. So the first one is antioxidants. Now, because the brain is so metabolically active, it is cranking through fuel all day long, specifically carbohydrates. Your brain actually feeds on carbohydrates all day long. This is why I'm not a fan of the low carb diets, because it just starves your brain. And then we're hangry and we're not thinking clearly. But when we are burning through carbohydrates, one of the byproducts of metabolism is something called a free radical. And when I think of free radicals, I think of like a little kid, like a ping pong ball. Like, you know how they just like bounce around things? I don't know if your kids are like this. My boys parkour through life. It's like they see anything, furniture, walls, I don't know, like my purse. They're jumping on it and bouncing around, and sometimes they cause damage. Free radicals are very much like that. They're these little unstable molecules that can bounce around inside of our body. It's just a byproduct of any metabolism. But the cool thing is our body has this way of neutralizing those free radicals, kind of like when my kids are parkouring and they start to get near my breakable decorations, I scoop them up in my arms. Our body has the ability to do just that with these free radicals, but it needs antioxidants to make that happen. So adding antioxidants into our diet or in through our food can help prevent some of the wear and tear that we get from metabolism. Where do we get antioxidants? I'm so glad you asked, my friend. We can get them from any foods that pack natural color. But my favorites and some of the most powerful are going to be berries, black and kidney beans, prunes. I love this one. Coffee. Yes, coffee has antioxidants. Thank you, God, for that one. Olive and avocado oil, pecans, and this is a really cool one and one that's not quite as commonly known, and that is black rice, or also known as forbidden rice. This rice in particular actually has one of the highest antioxidant capacities of any food. It's even higher than berries. So if you haven't tried black rice yet, you've got to try this stuff. It is just absolutely incredible. Now, my friend, I just have to say this about antioxidants because I know there are a lot of supplements out there that promise antioxidants, and the best way to get them is really in their natural form, not in a bottle. When we consume antioxidants from things like olive oil or an apple, like it comes with all these other phytoactive nutrients that help support the transfer of antioxidants through our GI tract and into our body. These kind of things we just can't capture in a pill. So it's not to say that some of those antioxidant boosting supplements aren't giving you benefits. I mean, they might be, but we do know that in their natural form, they operate best. Some of my favorite studies have compared side by side, like consuming these foods in their natural form versus consuming them in a pill, and hands down, you will see across the research, there is more evidence to support consuming them in their natural form as opposed to the pill. The only time I recommend a supplement is if we're looking at a therapeutic dose that cannot be obtained from our diet, which we totally can if we're consuming foods that have that rich, beautiful, natural pigment. Fruits and veggies, it's the recommendation. It's old as time. It's not sparkly or sexy, but it's essential. It truly is essential, especially when it comes to brain health. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is looking to get enough essential fatty acids. Now, essential fatty acids are going to be the types of fats found in like avocado, flaxseed, nuts, salmon, those really heart-healthy fats. The thing about essential fatty acids is they make up 20% of our nerve cell membranes, and they're also involved in the creation and function of neurotransmitters throughout our entire life. So they're super important when it comes to our brain health. I love this analogy of what essential fatty acids do in our brain. This is actually from one of my favorite books. It's called The Brain Fix by Dr. Ralph Carson. But he talks about how essential fatty acids make the connections in our brain smoother and more flexible. And he compares it to that of a pitcher throwing a baseball to a catcher. This is so cool because you can just see this, right? If a pitcher's throwing a ball to the catcher and the catcher's like really rigid, they're not going to ever catch the baseball, right? The catcher catches the baseball when they're flexible and they can move and they can shift with the pitch. When our brain's moving through different thoughts and connections, those neurotransmitters have to jump across a synapse and connect with a receptor, just like a pitcher has to throw a ball and connect with the catcher. That receptor in our brain, when it catches a neurotransmitter, that connection is where our brain is high functioning. That's when we can feel things. That's when we connect. That's when we're more present. That's when our brain is on. We want a flexible catcher in our brain. We want flexible receptors, and essential fatty acids are the ticket for that. Now, if you're thinking, okay, essential fatty acids, I know I'm supposed to eat salmon twice a week, and I don't do that, Jess. Guess what? Me either. I don't know what it is. Some people are really great about it. And yeah, actually, you know what? I think there's two types of people here. There are the people that rock at this, and they just add salmon in regularly. I mean, they have it in salads, they have it on crackers and charcuterie boards. Or then there's people like me that, think it kind of smells funny, and my kids don't eat it, so I forget to buy it. I do. But when I do, man, I feel better. So for those of you that are like me, let's do ourselves a favor and let's try to add that next to the chicken or next to the beans on our grocery list, and let's get essential fatty acids from salmon regularly. But if you're also like me and you struggle, this is where a supplement has proven to be helpful. Getting essential fatty acids from our diet can be a bit more challenging. Sometimes it's expensive, and let's face it, like everything is so expensive, and we're in the middle of the holidays, or about to be. So people are usually tightening their belts this time of year. When we're here, this is where a supplement can be really, really helpful. When you're looking to get an omega-3 supplement, just a few things. First of all, you have to talk to your healthcare provider because it is a blood thinner, or can be a blood thinner. So we want to make sure it doesn't interact with any other medications or anything going on in your body. And then number two, we do want to look at the type of supplement. A lot of omega-3 supplements there's two types of omega-3 fatty acids. There's DHA and EPA. DHA is the one that our brain absolutely loves. That's the one that makes the catcher flexible, and we want more of that. A lot of the supplements, especially the cheaper ones, are going to be higher in EPA as opposed to DHA, or may not contain any DHA at all. You'll see a lot of supplements that say DHA and EPA blend, which in that case, we have no idea. So I really encourage and recommend supplements that have the same or more levels of DHA in the omega-3 supplement. If you want to snag my favorite, you can go over and check out my online dispensary over at jessbrownrd.com. I have a few specific ones that I really like, and they definitely hit the DHA target and are worth the money to help keep our brain flexible. Okay, so that's number two, supplement with omega-3s, or ensure that you're including things like fish and walnuts and ground flaxseed on a regular basis to hit that essential fatty acid target. That's number two. You ready for number three? Keeping that brain nice and soft. We got to keep our gut health in order. The connection between our gut and our brain is so powerful. It is a bi-directional relationship, meaning your gut is talking to your brain, and sister, your brain is talking to your gut. So when our gut is inflamed or off, the messages sent to our head and our brain, they are also off. We also know now, this is such a fun stat, that 90% of our serotonin, which is our happy hormone, 90% of that is actually made in our gut. So in order for our brain to have the happy hormone serotonin to even jump across the synapses and produce that happy feeling that we all love to feel, we have to have a healthier gut. We've got to keep our gut health in order. So I have this little gorgeous gut health checklist. I want to go over it with you guys today because I think it's something you can start implementing. Take one, take all, save this one, build up to it, whatever you do. These are kind of the basics of getting your gut health in order. So number one is working up to 25 to 35 grams of dietary fiber from food. And from food in its natural form. So I'm not talking about like a Fiber One bar. I'm talking about from like the 5 grams in an apple and the 7 grams in beans, getting it from whole food sources. Working up to 25 to 35 grams per day. That's kind of like a foundational basis here for optimal gut health. Hydrate. We have to have fluid to metabolically process everything that we consume. And if all we're drinking is coffee, which I have been guilty of that for a season or two, we are not giving our body adequate hydration to stay in balance. So we've got to have fluid, just good old plain water. And, I always get this question like, what about flavored waters? Or what about, because I don't like water. It's all fluid. I really encourage people to pick one, something that they like and that they'll drink, and two, something that doesn't have caffeine, something that does hydrate more than dehydrate. And there are quite a few options for this out there now. So if you're not a water fan, you got some good options out there. The third one is exercise daily. That movement and that kind of like jarring of our gut really helps to keep us regular. So whether it's walking or jogging, biking, swimming, whatever it is, getting your heart rate up and moving your body gets the blood flowing and stimulates something called peristalsis in your gut, which is like the natural squeezing process of your intestines. One of the other fun ones is getting some sunshine in the morning. When we step outside and that sun, that good old vitamin D hits our skin, it actually tells our body to regulate our hormones, which signals to our gut that it's time to get moving. So one of the rules of thumb is get some sunshine within an hour of waking. But if you're like me and you wake up at the crack, hours before the crack of dawn, then that's not possible. So do what works with you in your morning. But if at any point you can get out there, get about 10 minutes of sunshine, you're going to even do your gut health some favors. Now, we know we have gorgeous gut health if we are passing about 1 to 2 snake-like bowel movements per day. Yes, I said snake-like. I just described your bowel movements as snake-like. I think it's important that we know. We have to look at how our food is being digested. If we have more of that rabbit poop kind of bowels, that's going to let us know we're constipated, or if it looks compacted, that means it was. Or if we have loose stool, we might have some malabsorption issues going on. So that is your litmus test to see if you have gorgeous gut health. And if not, we, 1, hit some of those basics, but 2, may need to do some food manipulation to see what we can do. Oftentimes, I do think this is so true. When people have off gut health, either one of 2 things has happened. Either stress has gone to a new level and their brain is impacting their gut, or number 2, they're not eating something. So it's less about eliminating foods and more about making sure we're adding in the right foods. A lot of times we as women just don't eat enough carbohydrates. And so the food that's moving through our gut doesn't have it doesn't have a solid nature to it. So oftentimes I'll just have people add rice. Hey, we could add forbidden rice. Check 2 of these bubbles today. Add forbidden rice and it completely changes your bowel movements. Okay, so let me do a little recap here. We've got add in antioxidants. By the end of this, I hope all of y'all are going somewhere to find some black rice because that one is such a little gem. Number 2, adding in essential fatty acids. And if that's something that is harder for you, supplementing with omega-3 fatty acids. And number 3, let's get your gorgeous gut health in order. Whew, that was a mouthful. Did you take notes? I just tore through that, but I really get excited about this stuff, especially as I get older, because it's getting harder to maintain my brain function. I've always had a bit of a bad memory, but man, you tack on a couple kids and some bad nights of sleep and, suddenly I put cereal in my coat closet. Who knows what's next? I mean, I've done some really weird things. So all that to say, it takes a little bit more work to take care of my brain health. And you know what? I'm so here for it. And I know you guys are going to want to do the same because we're all out there, right? We're all juggling all the things. We're all tired, but there are some things that can really change it. When I add these in, when I get my gut health in order, when I'm taking my omega-3 supplements and I'm hitting my fiber, my antioxidant levels, it is astounding the difference I feel. My brain does work better. I even sleep better. And the cool part is my mood is better. There is something so magical about taking care of your gut health and how that impacts your mentality and your mood. It's magical. So if you're thinking today, okay, Jess, this is great, but my gut health's off, or yeah, I want to take an omega-3, but is there anything else I could take? Or do I need to actually do an overhaul of all of the things I'm eating and get a better balance overall, not just with antioxidants and omega-3s? Guess what, friend? I would love to help you figure that out. You can snag a one-on-one power session with me and we can hash a lot of this out in an hour for you. Or if you're someone that's like, I really need the accountability though. Jess, you're going to tell me what to do and then I'm not going to do it. Don't worry. I have something for you too. You can snag 12 weeks of empowered eating with accountability and I would love to be in your corner. There's something so special about getting to cheer you on in that one-on-one space. It is honestly my favorite thing. I've been doing this for a long time now and I'm not sick of it. I don't think I ever will be. So if you're feeling that nudge today, I would love to meet you. If you have any questions about it, you can shoot me and my team an email over at hello@jessbrownrd.com. All right, sister, boost up that brain power. We're getting ready to go into full on holiday season. And I know you're going to be so ready for it. Not just it's not going to kick our butt this year. We're going to go in there and we're going to have fun. We're going to be energetic. We're just going to embrace this season. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here. Cheers, my friend, and happy eating. Gosh, I'm so glad you joined me today. If today encouraged you, would you take a minute and encourage me by leaving a review for the show? I read every single one of these reviews, and your words, they mean so much to me. This podcast is here to support you weekly, but it only scratches the surface. To learn more on how you can become an empowered eater, snag my free workshop, How to Eat Intuitively and Hit Your Goals Without Obsessing Over Food, at jessbrownrd.com. Don't forget to join me right here next Monday, where I cannot wait to fuel your awesome. Cheers, my sweet friend, and happy eating.